I've had similar experiences to you, Sarah and Maria, I feel. Bye. That I've sort of experienced this um, from both sides as well. I played Nala here in Melbourne, Australia, back in 2005, 2006. And I was told that I was the fairest Nala that they'd had, which made sense to me. And I felt like a little bit of an imposter, being part of such a beautiful, richly coloured show. But then, like, half the cast were my cousins from New Zealand, and so I'm like part Maori, Irish, Scottish, and then apparently part Chinese as well. And a lot of our cast was like, we had our South Africans and our European, like Greek and Italian. We had some Asian cast, and then all us Cuzzy bros from New Zealand. And so that was nice, at least, that I didn't feel completely on my own, but I did feel like a bit of an imposter in that sort of setting. But then I've also tried to get auditions for shows. My agent's been told that I was too exotic to even be considered, which makes me sad. And I know that that's part of the mentality that we have here in Australia, generally speaking. But there's some really exciting changes happening within the industry. And I know, well, I hope it's happening over there too. But, for instance, our producer, Michael Castle, who's bringing Hamilton over next year, has just struck a deal or a new agreement with our union to include like cultural leave as part of our contracts. So, sorry, not our, but just union contracts, so that members of the company can go, have leave for certain things that may not be considered sick leave, may not be considered, grief or personal leave, but they're specifically for cultural reasons, and that's to cater for the difference that you see, within the cast and within the different, backgrounds that people have, the cultural backgrounds. So there is change happening, but unfortunately, there's still that uncomfortability along the way, and then being told that, for other shows that I'm not ethnic enough to be considered has been, sort of odd as well. But it is what it is, I find.
All right, so it's getting close to almost 9 o'clock here in the US. So I was just gonna look at wrapping this up a little bit. I really just have the 2 more questions for all of you. The first one I would, just really like 2 more questions for all of you. There's sort of one as well, is do you have advice for any Elphaba hopefuls, or also as well as just any young women of color or people of color in general, for navigating this industry, no matter what capacity, whether it's acting, directing, stage managing, or any type of designs, producing?
If you're still in school, learn to love reading and writing, and write your own material. Honestly, I wish that I had kind of pushed myself to do that more. And again, I stand by what I said. I think there needs to be more, I think specifically women of color in higher positions in the entertainment industry, as producers, as writers, as showrunners, as directors. Especially, the creatives, the people who actually create the material. So write your own stuff. Go out and live a life. Visit other countries. Get to know other people from outside your backgrounds. Expand your horizons. Come back and write your own stuff. Because, this industry, if COVID has taught us anything, right, it's that the industry can shut down at any point. And who knows when it's going to, to come back up again, right? And so you have to learn how to make your own opportunity, because even if the opportunities aren't there for you, then create your own opportunities.
I'll say two things. Remain authentic to who you are and get really, really, really good at taking care of yourself. You know, do anything and everything. What I've learned this year is I want to do things that make me feel good. I'm not interested in putting myself in any position or any project or anything that doesn't feel good. I'm not actively auditioning for really anything, and no one's asked me to do a virtual concert or anything like that, and I'm okay with it. I just want to feel good this year. So, and I think it's important to make sure you can tap into that at any time, especially in this industry, just because there's so much always. And even before the shutdown, the industry was hard. It's just going to be even harder when it comes back. You know, as progress is being made, it's still very, very, very difficult. So get very good about taking care of yourself, stepping away when you need to, take breaks. It's okay to not always be involved in something artistically. You can be whatever you want. You can, you know, if you just want to take a bath, take a bath. If you want to, you know, read something that's not a play, that's okay too. Like, it's okay to do other things. So yeah, just remain true to who you are. Never let anyone change you. You change because you want to, and take very good care of yourself always.
I mean, Saycon kind of said it earlier, just with the whole be a mango thing, but it's truly, it is. I think especially being that I am so new to the industry, there was definitely moments, especially in the beginning with a big show like Wicked, where I sort of was like listening to the show every night sung by these powerhouse women, and I was like, well, maybe I need to sound more like them, or maybe I need to be more like this, and that'll make me more professional, or that'll make me better, whatever. But you know, I realized very quickly that, you know, I am never going to be able to do Jackie Burns or Marianne Torres' Elphaba. Those are their Elphabas, and Sarah Fernandez's Elphaba is Sarah Fernandez's Elphaba, and they can't do mine, and I can't do theirs. And that's it. Everyone is going to be different. Everyone's going to be their own thing. One is not better or worse. It's being confident in the unique thing that you bring to the table every time. That is a lesson that I really had to learn for myself. And once I did, everything got so much easier. So I think that's, if I were to tell my younger self anything, it's just that, like, you've got to be you, and what you bring is enough. So that's my advice for life, for Elphaba, for everything. Just be you.
Well, I love what everyone's been saying. I think in terms of preparing for Elphaba, it's very specific. Like, you want to be prepared to take on such a marathon role, and so that would be, you know, you've got to do the groundwork to want to be considered. You've got to have the range, you've got to have the strength, you've got to have the flexibility up there, and you know, all go, you know, make your lists and do your practice and do the things that you need to get the experience you need to be really considered seriously. But then at the same time, you can't control the decisions that people are going to make and the opinions people are going to have about you. And so then that's coming back around to what, you know, the other girls have been saying about, you know, learn who you are and your own worth, so that you're not basing it off what other people think. Be a mango, that's going to be my new saying. We love mangoes here in Australia. So yeah, be you, do you, and as long as you're prepared, you'll be ready when the right opportunity comes. Not everything's going to be right for you, you know, not every girl's going to get to play Elphaba, and that's okay. But as long as you're prepared for what you want, then you know, you will be ready when the right thing comes along.
All right. Now, just before we end, I want to see if there is anyone who's attending this. Do you guys have any questions for the Elphaba, for these four amazing women before we sign off for the night? You can either type it in the chat or there is a Q&A function. I don't know if you guys can see I don't know if the four of you can see the questions as like, just like me. Down
Yeah.
below. Okay, you guys can?
I can. I don't know if it's different on the phone. Sometimes the functions on the phone are a little different. So,
Sarah, I don't know. I don't know how to use this, honestly. So, if you guys want to go and answer, and I'll figure out the question along the way.
It says, are you familiar with We See You What? We've talked about adjacent stuff.
yeah, I'm familiar with them. I've seen their posts on Instagram, and yeah, I think the work that they're doing is vital to bringing attention to the disparity. Oh God, the word I want to use I can't say right now. They're on the right track. They're on the right track for change, and I think it's great that now that this pandemic has hit, all of these things that have been sort of under the rug are coming out, and you know, there are people that are being held accountable now, and I think that's the difference. So now that people are being held accountable, maybe we will see radical change. I really hope so, because it just can't remain the same. It especially can't remain the same now. Like, it's just not going to fly with too many people.
It's overdue. It's an overdue thing. But I think the silver lining of the pandemic and of the shutdown of the industry, like Dan'yelle was saying, if there even is a silver lining of all this awfulness, is that it is time to reflect, and it is time to be able to come back new, maybe come back with a clean slate, come back having made changes. I think in anything, it's harder to implement a change when everything's going. And so this pause, hopefully, is the opportunity to really implement that overdue change and kind of get it in there. So when it opens new, it opens correct. You know, that's sort of my hope, at least.
All right. So I just want to, before we wrap this up, I just want to say thank you to the four of you. Thank you to Saycon. I said that right. I think I did. Saycon.
Saycon.
Saycon. I want to say thank you to all of you for allowing me and giving me the chance to do this. I was surprised when not only one answered, but 6 of you guys had responded. And 5 of you, no, yeah, 6 of you responded, and 5 of you were able to show up. It means so much to me. It was an honor. Before we finish, I just want to say thank you to some other people who have helped me throughout this journey. Sarah, you have helped me with getting in contact with some of the other women as well. I want to thank Marie Ify, the current Elphaba understudy on tour, because I had questions for her about how would you feel about, like, what would be the best way to approach you when asking someone to do this. I want to thank my friend of mine, Maddie Jewel Kuski, for lending me her ring light so I didn't look awful. And I just want to thank, again, all of you amazing women for joining me and allowing me to host this amazing night celebrating all of you. There is so much work to be done in this industry, and I know all of you will do amazing things. You'll continue to do amazing things, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do next. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting all of you.
Same.
Nice meeting everybody.
Amazing. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
To meet you guys. Bye.